Well, let's do this. Good morning, everyone. Man, I am excited. You guys excited? Give some thumbs up, some emojis. Can you just fill up the chat with emojis and all sorts of crazy stuff? Today is going to be one of those days that you turn around and you say, that was a day that meant so much to me. That was a day to where I made some heavy decisions, man. That was a day to where things started to click. I love these emojis, by the way. Look at this. You guys are ready. You guys, Misty, you ready? Misty not ready. I love this. We got all sorts of emojis. Look, our lineup is incredible today. Today, uh, the superstars are coming. I almost want to just say what I'm going to say so I can move out of the way. You guys can hear the people that's going to bring so much value today. I'm telling you what, you want to really focus. You want to be locked in. And again, this is week 5. So welcome to week 5. As you can see, the numbers are getting lower and lower and lower and lower. This is life. If I put you in any group, this is how it's going to be. We could do a Bible study right now and we could attract 500 people and say, hey, once a week, we're going to read, we're going to read 10 pages. And on Monday, we're going to get on and we're going to discuss. Week number 1, 478 people are on. Not even the whole 500. By week 5, we got about 138 people. By week 7, there's going to be about 78 people. By week 8, it's dropped down to 50. It is very hard to be committed to your own commitments. It is very hard to have something called consistency. It is very hard to continuously have passion and desire. It is very hard not to talk yourself out of success. And if it wasn't hard, there wouldn't be the same 5% that it's been for centuries. For centuries. If it was easy, then the ratios would be different. 95% of people would be successful. And here's the deal. Successful isn't some arbitrary term that Jamil comes up with, right? Successful isn't you reaching intergalactical director. Success isn't you reaching integrated presidential. Successful isn't whatever. You know what being successful is? This is what it is. Missy, I'm just coming straight at you right now. This is what being successful is. I set a goal, whatever that goal is, and I meet it. That's what it is. Now, all of us have different goals, right? My goal in high school was to get a 2.0 GPA. Now, for some of you guys, you're going to say, that sucks. Why is your goal so low? But listen, I got a 2.2. I was successful, right? I did what I said I wanted to do. I did it. I did it. And one of the things I said was I wanted to get a football scholarship. I got it. I was successful. For somebody else, that may not have been their goal, right? That may not have been their dream. Some of you guys on here are the most talented freaking nurses in the world. Your goal that you set for yourself was to become a nurse. You hit it. Guess what you are? Successful. For some people, they say, I want to have a net worth of $1 million. And they hit it. Now, somebody else says, I want to have a net worth of $1 million, and they don't do it. One person's successful, the other one's not. In that category, does this make sense? So it is very hard, very hard, very hard, very hard to be successful. And it isn't Jamil setting your goals for you. That's not what we do. right? That's not, you're not judged. Who cares what I think? Who cares what Rachel and Tim thinks? Who cares what Erica O thinks? Who cares what Justin Avini thinks? Who cares about any of that stuff? Who cares what your parents think? What do you think? What do you think? You set your own goals, right? Don't we sit down with you and we say, what are your dreams? What are your passions? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Most people don't even know that. What do you want? I'm not sure. Okay, close your eyes. If you could have your life, your desired outcome, Dr. A tells us, what do you want? What would you like that to look like? How would you like to live? How would you like your days to go? What would you like to give back? What sort of freedoms do you want? What equities? What values? What do you want? How would you like to live? Isn't that what we say? And then you come up with stuff, right? Now that stuff that you come up with, we put some time frames by, and we say, when would you like to have that? When would you like to have that? It just so happens that everybody in this series, we all collectively, it just so happens that all of our goals have aligned on this one thing called Fibc, right? And we said, when would you like to achieve that by? And what date did we say? What date did we say? What date did we say? This isn't a Jamil thing. What date did we say? I'm gonna show you real fast. I'm gonna show you. What date? Let me share my screen. This date. This date. July 31st. Now here's the deal. You set the goal. Not me, not your business coach, not your mentor. You set it because it's probably in alignment to that bigger thing out in the future that you want to create. Am I lying? Am I lying? Is that truth, or am I making this stuff up? Isn't part of the reason why you set that goal? It's because it's in direct alignment to something that's further past that. So this is going to be a stepping stone that helps you get to, all I'm doing is structural tension. Now, here's the facts. The facts is, in order to do that, you will have to give up good things in order to get that great thing that you said was out here. Not Jamil, not your business coach, not your mentor, not freaking whoever else, you. Success is always the same. In order to get something that you desire, you will have to give up some things. You will. There's no way I'm going to, out here, I say I want radiant health. I want to get off of diabetic medications. I want to be able to run like the wind. I want to be at a BMI that's 25 or below. I want to be at a healthy weight. And I don't have to give up a lot of my habits that's gotten me to where I'm at right now. And most of those habits are mental. They're mental. I can't eat freaking 5 pounds of bonbons and think I'm going to get to a healthy BMI. It's ludicrous, you guys. And if I don't get to a healthy BMI, I can't, it's just delusional for me now to say that, you know what, that's Karen Elstrom's fault. That's Karen, you know what, that's Dr. A's fault. Man, and you know what, that guy Jamil, he's getting on every Saturday and he's giving it to me real, and that's just him just yelling at me because he wants me to get to a freaking healthy weight. It's like, no, Jamil doesn't need you to get to a healthy weight. And Jamil and your business coaches and stuff don't need you to get to Fibc. You know why we're doing this? You know why I'm doing this? I'm gonna be straight up and I'm gonna be real. I've made a declaration in my life. Oh man, you guys are trying to get me to cry. I'm not gonna do it. I've made a decision that if any average person that has a little bit of abnormal desire and I have a chance to be in relationship with them, I've made a decision that I am going to do everything in my power to help them elevate. That's been my decision, and I wake up every day with that mission. And some of that is in this business. A lot of it is outside of this business. A lot of it is with little kids. I don't care who it is or how old they are or what they look like. If you're an average human being like me and you got a little bit, just a little bit, just a little tiny bit, just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit of desire, then listen to me, you are going to reach that freaking goal. Or or I don't know any other way. That's not me. That's not me. If you got a little bit, then we are going to do it. We are going to do it. And you're going to do it. You are going to reach your goal of Fibc. You are. Put that in the chat. I am going to reach this goal. You know, I dropped yesterday did a little check-in and I said, put your numbers and stuff. And I know that was difficult. And I just want to commend you, some of you guys, for doing that because you're not where you want to be yet, right? You're not where you want to be yet. And it was a little bit scary putting that out there. And there were some zeros that's there. I don't care about the zeros. Why? Because we just got to get into more action. Action will solve it all. I promise you. I promise you. And we are going to get there. We got plenty of time. We got plenty of time. And we are not going to let you get down on yourself and or quit. Now, if you do, that's on you, right? That's on you. If I don't lose my weight, I can't. It's not Amanda's fault. It's not Dr. A's fault. It's not society's fault. It's not my mama's fault. It's not my daddy's fault. It is my fault. But in this community, man, we're gonna lift you up every day. And we're gonna say, hey, you can be successful. And successful again isn't what Jamil says. Successful is, what do you say? What do you say? I said I was going to wake up this morning at 5:30. Now, if I woke up at freaking 5:45, I was unsuccessful waking up at 5:30. Let's just call a spade a spade. But guess what I did? I woke up at 5:30. I did what I said I was going to do. One quick story. When I got out of high school, obviously with a GPA like that, I don't care how good of an athlete you are, you got to go to junior college, right? Like if you want to go to college, not like a worthy at all university is not going to take somebody with a freaking 2.0 GPA. So I had to go to junior college. My first year in junior college, I met this amazing professor. Her name is Dr. Linda Relorta. You can look her up. But I was about to drop out. I was about to drop out because I found a way to make some money. And I started making really good money. And I was like, what do I need this whole school thing? I know I'm playing football and everything, but I would rather just keep bringing in this income. And Linda pulled me to the side. She didn't even know me that well. Today, she's one of my foremost mentors and one of my best friends. But back then, she didn't know me. And she says, you know what? I'm not going to let you drop out. You have way too much talent and ability. In fact, you should be an honor student. Think about that. Me, an honor student? I mean, forget, okay, fine, I stay in school, but dang, an honor student? No way. You don't understand. You don't understand my upbringing. There's no way. Nobody in my family ever. And she wouldn't let me quit, you guys. She wouldn't let me. She wouldn't let me, she wouldn't allow me to quit. And I stayed in school and she says, I'm going to work with you. And you are getting into the honors program. And a year later, guess where I was? In an honors program. Guess what I graduated college with? Honors program, every class. Everybody needs that one person that just will not let you quit on yourself. That's what your masterminds are. This is not the mastermind, by the way. It is what you're doing every single day. Every single day. Well, I told you I was going to move out of the way because I'm not the guy, but you know who is. So Julie and Brian Russell, you guys, if you guys don't know them, trust me, you want to know them. I was sitting here talking about them with my assistant, I think yesterday, 2 days ago. And she was like, they're the best people in the world. I go, I know, straight up. I'm so excited for them. They have just recently reached Fibc for the first month last month. And this is where you really want to tune in because they're about to tell you exactly how that happened. And more importantly, why that happened. Julie and Brian, if you guys can come on up and inspire us this morning, that would be so awesome.
Hey, yeah,
right.
We love Caitlin too, so I hope I get to see her today.
Yeah, man, you kind of set this up perfect. Talking about it's hard. There's hard stuff, but I think that's really where the success comes from, is that hard stuff. Like we have struggled, cried, argued, been on top of the mountain, down deep in the valley, all of the different emotions and everything that comes along with trying to start a business and work a full-time job, right? It's hard. There's nothing easy about it. So yeah, if anybody's looking for that one thing that you go out and do, or that one little thing that's going to make your business successful, you ain't going to find it. It's all of those things. You know, we hear this, and I've heard this. I've heard that the obstacle is the way, right? The struggle is where you find success. And you hear these things, and until you live these things and feel these things, it's really hard to understand them. So if any of you guys are struggling, if any of you guys are like, man, this is hard, get excited about that, because that means you're fixing to grow. You're fixing to change. You're fixing to learn something. The how or the why, the biggest thing for us is we got out of our own way, finally. And nobody else could do that for us. I couldn't get out of Julie's way for her. She couldn't get out of my way for me. We had to each get out of our own ways, get out of our own heads. A little secret to that. Rachel Richards says this all the time: competency leads to confidence. So do the work. I mean, learn your back office. You know, if you're doing check-ins with clients and they're asking you questions and you don't even know where to go in your own life book or your own habits of health book, it's going to be very hard to be a coach. If you're coaching coaches, right, and you don't understand how your own business works, how are you going to explain this to somebody else? So other than that, I think our biggest, or at least for me, one of the biggest things is that shift from realizing that it's a gift, right? It's a gift that was given to us. And I was just talking to, we've got several coaches. We're going senior coach over and over and over and over and over right now. So you're going to do that too. Like, you don't get a coach and take them to senior coach, you go senior coach. But I was just talking to him, and he was doing a health assessment, and it was like really, really, I mean, he was nervous. It was his first one. He was kind of scared. You could tell he's reading every single question verbatim. And I said, man, when we got off afterwards, I just asked him, I said, how stoked are you with your transformation? Like, how excited are you about what OptiV has done for you? He's like, man, I don't even have the words, you know? And he just, you know, he lit up, and he's smiling, you know? And I said, dude, you're smiling, right? I said, when you're talking to somebody else about this program, think about what this program's done for you personally, and then let that go. Let that emotion just ride with it. So I'll let Julie talk about some of the specifics.
Personal growth. I think when Rachel was talking about moving out of the employee mindset and into just owning that this is your business with your own goals and your own dreams, and owning that, that is so key. And I just told Brian, I said, that finally happened this year. I'm finally looking at it like, this is mine and I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to depend on anybody else to, not that I'm not following the systems, but I'm owning it and learning it for myself and doing it. And personal development, key. And that only comes through struggle, right? And it's been a struggle. I was probably on my face crying several times this last couple months. Just that struggle of growing personally into that place of not being an employee anymore. That was key for us. And I see that that is changing the way I act about this business. It is mine. I'm not trying to prove anything to anyone else, or please anyone else. It's just owning that. And I think that that was the biggest shift for us in the last couple months, for sure.
Powerful stuff, man. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for jumping on this morning. It is putting your head down, leaning it to the left, and getting up that mountain. I mean, step by step. This is exactly what they're saying. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be messy. You're going to want to blame, point fingers, get mad, get mad, get mad. But again, look yourself in the mirror and say, Roger that. Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's go. But we are getting up this freaking hill. Come hell or high water. July 31st. I mean, that's what it is, man. Let's go. This is big time stuff. We are going to reach these goals. We are. You guys, we had a coach last month. I mean, these guys are freaking rocking, man. Many of you guys may not have been introduced to Bobby, but this woman and what is happening with her and the different shifts that are happening is literally blowing up. In fact, I want to trade businesses with her. Bobby, can we trade businesses? Come on off and explain to us how you've been able to just, have such a shift in mindset. You're sponsoring all these people. You're going senior coach multiple times. You're a mama, and I think you're pregnant too. Come on and talk to us, girl. I think she's there. Bobby, where you at? Let me see if I can find her. Bobby Collins. Oh, there she is. All right.
There you are. It wouldn't let me unmute myself. I apologize.
That's my fault. See, I took ownership. That's my fault.
I was like, why isn't it letting me? Well, good morning. Thank you, Jamil. Yes, let's switch businesses because I want to be where you're at, but I'm getting there. I'm going to get there. Yes, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Bobby Collins. I have been coaching for a little over a year. I think I hit my year in June. I am a mom of a crazy 2-year-old. They don't warn you about the terrible twos. I take it. And I am 8 months pregnant. So as you can know, I am a very, very busy individual. I hit ED my very, very first month of coaching, and I've been comfortable there. I have been okay there. I've been stagnant there. My goal, I've always wrote on my map to hit Fibc, but have I ever hit Fibc? No, because I've been comfortable. I haven't wanted to put in the work. I've been good with money. I've been good with my schedule. I like where I'm at. So I've focused all my energy on my frontline volume for a year. Have always been ED. So when this mastermind came out, I would really had to sit down and think, do I have the time for this? Do I have the energy for this? Is this something that I want to get out of my comfort zone to do? Because in the back of my head, I knew this was going to take a lot of work. So being 8 months pregnant, I actually am due right around when we're supposed to make our goal to hit Fibc. So I really, really did have to sit down and think, is this mastermind for me? And what did I have to lose? I'm sick and tired of being complacent. I'm sick and tired of being comfortable. I want to hit Fibc and I want to grow my business. And me not doing anything about it was just me just hitting ED each month. The biggest thing that I was afraid of was 2 things. Celebration calls. I hated setting up celebration calls. They scared me to death. I always thought in the back of my head, no one wants to hop on Zoom. Like, no one has time for a Zoom call with us. Why am I going to ask them to celebrate their first week when I can just quickly do it over a quick text? That was my mindset. Same thing with coaches. I always thought, why is this person that's making a 6-figure income, or she's a mom of 4 people, or whatever it may be, why would they want to be a coach? They're not even on program. Why would they want to coach? So I never offered this to anyone, never offered celebration calls, never offered coach exploring calls. So again, when this mastermind came out, I actually knew that these were going to be the action steps. So again, in my head, I was thinking, God, am I going to be able to get out of my comfort zone to set up these calls, or should I just not do this mastermind class? Because I know that the action steps are going to require me to jump out of this comfort zone to get into action, right? So 2 weeks ago, or we're in week 5, I guess, but I started offering coaching to everyone. We offer program to everyone. So why don't we offer coaching to everyone? Whether they're on program or not, I was offering coaching to every single person I was talking to, whether they were a client of mine, a past client of mine, again, whether they were on program or not. I went from 0 coaches to 3 coaches last month and set 2 of them up for senior coach. So I saw a huge shift change in my business. Again, my business was solely focused on my frontline volume, but now I'm seeing my frontline volume drop a little bit, which is okay, right? Because I'm actually bringing on these coaches that are going to hit senior coach, and I'm growing my business to a different level now. So I guess my biggest tips are, 1, staying consistent. 2, put in the work, get out of the comfort zone. The biggest thing is, if they say no to coaching, they say no to coaching. Who cares? They may even come back. We always say it's not a no, it's a not yet, right? And set up those celebration calls. Those are so, so important. And now I see them. And now I get so excited before they're even starting program. I'm like, let's set up the celebration call. And they're like looking at me like, what's a celebration call? I'm like, oh, you haven't even started yet. So again, thank you so much for putting this all together. I just want you all to kind of dive all in, go all in. We have a couple more weeks. We can do it, and we're all going to hit Fibc. I know I am. So who's in it with me? Thanks, Jamil.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I freaking love you. Look at that energy. 8 months pregnant, you guys. Come on. Now, I've never been pregnant, but I would imagine I'd be pretty darn tired. And that don't look like that's Miss Bobby Collins. You guys, we've all been there. This is what is called a shift. That's a shift. You don't see it, and then all of a sudden you see it. Or you believed one way, nobody wants a coach. And then all of a sudden you see it differently. That is called a shift. That's all you need. That's all you need. That's all you need. And then you're like, wow, the way I was thinking about this was completely asinine before. And now I see it. And it's so simple, you know, and that's when they say, like, I remember coaches back in the day would say, I hate it when you say it's so simple. Well, because once you have the shift, it is. And it's like, oh, everybody should be a coach. And before, we've all been there. I remember when I was there and I didn't see it and I was scared. And Karen's like, you got to go talk to Krista Matheson. I even remember the names. I was like, I can't talk to Krista. She's like, she's successful. It's crazy. And now if I see successful people, those are the first people I think, oh, they should definitely be a coach. Isn't that weird? Before, I thought the successful people, in my mind, whatever that meant, which is crazy in itself, but that is called a shift. Bobby, you're so awesome. And this is where it's at. You know, I wrote down, look, we've all been there. And this is about average people that have just a little bit of above average desire. Look at Bobby. We're all awesome. We all have inherent value. We all offer just greatness to the world, right? But she would not have stepped into the series if she didn't have at least a little bit of above average what? Desire. And now look what's happening. I'm telling you, we can do whatever it is that we want to do. And are there other vehicles that are out there outside of Optavia? Yes. But heck, we're already here. We already love this vehicle. We believe in it. Why don't we use it to go do the things and become the people that we want to be? See what I'm saying? Love that, Bobby Collins. Well, we're going to keep this party going. You guys may not have met this next couple, but they are awesome. We were actually talking about them around the fireplace last night, again, with my assistant and my wife, and just talking about how amazing Roy and Don are. And they've just been crushing it. So we wanted them to come on and share how they've been doing it, how they're sponsoring so many people, and how they're literally just raising the bar of excellence. You guys there this morning? Look at you guys. Woohoo! How much weight have you lost? Look at you guys. Come on off, talk to us.
So I think you guys might need to turn down your volume, because after hearing the Russells and Bobby go, I'm like on fire now all of a sudden. It's come on, let's do this. So I'm going to talk, Don's going to talk about the shift. I'm going to talk about how we got us to there and how we needed to move. So how did we get there? Well, Optavia fell into our lives, obviously. Didn't want to coach, didn't want to do that. Everyone knows that part of our story, most everybody. We started in January. This year, hit ED the first month. The third month, frontline went to 12,000. And we knew something else had to change. We knew we had to move somewhere else. And here we come into this series that's like right spot, right time. So how do we get to there? How about follow what our coach and our mentors tell us? All right, how about let's do that? Instead of we have all this head trash that says we cannot do this, or Bobby said comfort zone. We have that head trash that we build ourselves, all right? So we got there, honestly, by copying and pasting messages into people and following direction. When Jamil said it's easy, that part is easy, as long as we get out of our own way. Like the Russell said, get out of your own way. I want to try something kind of cool, and then we'll let Don go. So everyone come on, let's do it. Everyone put their hands out. Let's go. Come on, Jamil, your hands aren't out. All right, put your hands out. Open them up. Open them up. All right, close them. Make fists. All right, open them up. All right, make fists. Which way are you more comfortable? Which is more relaxed? Open or closed? Open, right? What does an open hand, open mind, open body do? It allows us to receive, and it allows us to give. When we are blocked off and we are closed, we cannot give what we have, this gift, to other people. And we cannot receive the help of others. So I'm saying, open yourself, open your heart, open everything about it. Just real quick, the head trash got me into a problem where I was afraid of what other people said. I had a family member tell me, I don't believe in people making money off of overweight people. Told me. I said, well, I don't see you boycotting McDonald's. Okay. Months later, she comes on program. She's down 50 pounds and now wants to buy a coach's kit. Share, share, share. Don, go.
Holy moly, man.
Sorry.
I think I should just step aside and let him just like keep going.
Go.
Oh my gosh. This is why I love this man. He keeps us going. So by the way, he is down 107 pounds. So, and I'm down 68. But our why did we do this? And yes, it all started about buying Justin's boat. But our why for coaching, because I always said, and Justin teases me about it still, you don't want to coach. I thought you didn't want to coach. My answer to Justin when he said, you guys really need to coach. And I said, I have a good job. I'm a college professor. And Jamil, there's nothing wrong with community college. Good job in that. I have a good job. I'm the one who holds all of our benefits. I have a pension plan, that's going to bring me all this money. I got to wait until I'm 65 to get it all, but I'm good, Justin. I don't need this. And then really what he did was he just took a step back and he just let us do our thing. And we started coaching just to help my daughter. And then we started seeing the possibilities. And Justin has always just kind of lived out loud with us and just shown us the possibilities. And being with all of you, it shows us the possibilities, but not only that, the accountability. So you show us that it is possible, and now we are a part of this. I have really gone from the I can never be what all of you are to we are now, and I really feel that now. And Jamil, you always, every time I see you, school in the pool, and Cabo, talking to you on these things, you never make us feel like it is not possible. You always show us that it's possible. And as Roy said, our business really did shift, like a lot of people are talking about. We went from, like Bobby said, it was almost for exactly what we were talking about last night. Our front line dropped a little bit because we're bringing on all these coaches. And we brought 4 coaches on this month. And the way I feel we really did that, when people say how and how are you doing this, is honestly being accountable and living out loud and not being hypocritical. And what I mean by that is we went on a week-long vacation. And, we've all heard it from our clients, from coaches, we're on vacation, we're not on plan. Well, then that's that diet mentality kind of thing, right? But we were out there, and talk about easy. We camped on a beach out in Lake Powell in Utah. It's been my family vacation since I was a kid. And we brought all our fuelings. We planned all our lean and green meals right there on the sand and the water. And it was great because everybody's out there trying to make their sandwiches and trying to, out in the sand and the wind. And we just went with it. Well, then they turned around and they saw us hiking. The last year when we hiked, we were out of breath. We were not seeing the beautiful country that was in front of us because we didn't have the energy. And so we just lived it. And everybody saw that, no, they're not on some diet or some whatever, but they are out in the summer when Dawn's off on working with no paycheck, when we're usually pretty well grounded in the summer because we don't have the money to do anything. So they saw the financial possibilities. I'm going to call it Justin's boat now. Justin's boat broke on us when we were out there, so we got a little stranded, so we had to get pulled back. But you know what? Some of the things that were hitting us were, all right, it might cost you $1,000 to get towed down to the other marina. It might cost you, $4,000 for them to whatever. And we were like, okay, let's do that. Okay, we could do this, we could do that. The possibilities were there, and they saw a difference in us. And I think that's what's been attracting our coaches, our clients, to see that they are living this. If they're living this, we can live this. And honestly, you guys, that is exactly what we're mirroring from everything we've been learning from you guys. Show up, be accountable, listen to these things, and take bits and pieces from everybody you meet. I've always said that to my students. Whoever you meet, take something and learn from them and do it. And that's what we do with you guys. And I want to thank all of you, and thank you for putting this on, because we just continue to learn and live, and people are attracted to it.
They are. Wow. Give a whole bunch of just love. People are private messaging me. Who are they? They are average people with a little bit of above average what? Desire, man. I'm telling you. Right here, these stories is exactly what Dr. Ray saw 20 years ago. Healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances, lifestyle. We can help enough people do it. Trust me. You're not going to be able to do it without evolving yourself, becoming what we call a leader, not a complainer, not a woe is me, a leader. Imagine if 350 million people in this country would do that. Guess who can help them do that? You and me. By the way, that's the mission. That's what we do. That's Optavia, these stores. You guys got me fired up. Okay, next people. Woo, I love these guys. Yessie and Chris, man. I'm so fired up about these guys. They've been rocking it just like everybody else. We want to learn from you guys and just hear how can we level up like you guys have decided to level up. And how have you been doing this is what we want to ask, but I'm more curious as to why. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Can you guys come on off?
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Man, that got me fired up, you guys. I'm over here like, can I stand up? No, they're going to look at me. Okay. Well, first is yes, your why. Your why matters. Absolutely matters. Okay. In the midst of me doing this, I'm doing 75-day hard with my husband because I'm not a quitter. He is a firefighter, so he's constantly gone. I have two toddlers. I'm a person that always used to find excuses. I'm like, I can't do this. Nope. This time around, I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm going to do this. So knowing your why, I want to bring this guy home more. I want him more. It gets me irritated that he works overtime. So if it gets you irritated, like you want to change that, right? So my why is strong. I want him home. This is why I'm doing it. Fitness, like everything all around mental. But I want to really talk about my shift that I had. And I actually asked him, I'm like, babe, when did I have my shift? Because I know I'm unbecoming a lot of things I do not want to be. Unbecoming a lot is hard.
Yes.
Very, very hard.
All right. So yeah, I remember we've been doing a lot of trainings, and it was around all-in training, the virtual training, and I think our mentors, Rachel and Tim, they kind of postured with the question, you guys know how to do this, right? Like we're bringing on client support, we're ED for a bit now, but can you teach it? And before she was just comfortable at ED, and I was kind of like thinking, oh, let's go Fibc. But then that shift happened where she was like, I want to do this. I'm all in. And then this Fibc Mastermind came around. So it was like the perfect storm, the perfect timing for us to really like take that leap of faith and just push ourselves. So on how we did this past month with
is really what Rachel said, and it's trust deposits. I'm like, man, I need to get into building relationships, and I love building relationships, but on the real, offering the mission to everybody and not excluding anybody. So as soon as she said trust deposits, I'm like, okay, who can I like throw a little deposit over here, over there, start building relationships. So I started building relationships with my clients that I have now, doing awesome check-ins, making sure they know the mission, making sure they know that they could coach as well, and really just making sure we have those regular check-ins and support. So that happened with my clients. However, I believe it was Dobby or somebody said, offering the mission to people that are not even clients, right? So I was just like, who is my fitness girl? Who's the guy's always doing this? Who's inspiring? All right, building relationships. Like, hey girl, like you're doing amazing, blah, blah, blah. Like, I think you would be awesome in the mission that I do. And just, again, trust deposits, doing those little by little. And from there, I was able to gain people that were, okay, I'm open. Yes, I trust you. What is it that you got, or a win-win. I'm going to go on a hike this week with one of my friends that, is suffering with, weight after a baby, doesn't have a job. I'm going to build that relationship with her. I'm helping my body at the same time, and I'm building that relationship. So find any way you can and build a relationship with somebody.
Yeah, and to build on that, just normalizing guiding. In our organization, we had a big shift from coaching to guiding and just the verbiage. And it seems less intimidating. And we put that pressure on Dr. A. He's our leader. He's our coach. We're guiding, we're resources. And it seems like posturing that to clients and potential clients has been very successful. We've scheduled more Coach Explorer calls this past month in June than we have in the 6 months prior that we were coaching. I think so. Doing that with new clients and then reaching out. Don't make decisions for people. I think I heard it from Tim is like, we don't like to answer or assume that what people want. We offer it to everyone and let them make that decision. Yeah. And once we got that chatter out of our head, it really opened up the doors for us, and we brought on those 4 coaches. Yeah. One of them was not even a client. She bought her coach kit and a client kit the first day. So, and then she brought on her sister at the same thing. So
2 of them. So two of them, they don't even have a coach. They don't have a client kit, a coach kit, and they just fell in love with the mission. And that's my goal. All right, I know the mission, but can I teach it to other people? So teaching it to them, knowing the mission, they're running it. And just ending with this, self-development, growth. Again, I had to unbecome a lot, and it's not easy. It's not easy. I hate it. It's frustrating. I cry. I'm irritated. I was like, but I want to unbecome. Who do I want to be? I think of that, right? So my quote that I'm going to say to you guys is, I am not my thoughts. I am what I do. So I have chatter in my head. I'm going to ignore the hell of that chatter. I'm like, iguana, peace out. I'm what I do. I get my butt up. Okay. Tips for you guys is do the work and build trust deposits.
Yes, and just offer the mission to everyone.
To everyone.
All right.
I love it, man. Thank you guys. You guys drop a whole bunch of sevens. So good. It is so good. And that's what it is. And it becomes so much fun when you start giving it away. And like it's to me, it's a lot more fun working with clients and coaches than just clients, honestly, because now you're helping people really, really change their life. You know, in order to do this, you know, it's really important to find the right partners. And Mark and Cheryl Wiley, there's a lot of groups that are just like really on fire. This is a group that's really on fire, like for real, for real. This group is, they got a ton of momentum right now. Lots of amazing business partners. So I want to bring Mark on to talk to us about how do we do that? How do we find the right partners? We're all in the sponsoring mindset, but how do we find the right partners? Mark Wiley, you there?
I am there. I thought firemen were supposed to put fires out, not start them, number one. So let's just throw that one out there. That was absolutely awesome. And the next one, Brewsters, you brought the millions. You absolutely changed the definition of Brewster's Millions for me this morning. You guys rock. So here's the deal. Last week, we talked about that scared list, and I hope you all got that together. If your scared list did not include people, then it was not complete. Get back with your mentor. People have to be on that scared list. Who are these people that pucker you up, that you're like, yeah, they're six figures, they don't need me? I'm telling you, those are the people we got to focus on. Here's the bottom line. Every day, we absolutely coach people into winning. We do that every day. We coach people into winning. Optavia, they hand us a coaching business, right? Because it's a product that works. We all know it, right? And the way it works, and the way it works through sustainability, is we have to give it back. That lands on a coaching business. Period. End of discussion, right? That's our mission. That's a component of our why. Shouldn't be the whole story of our why, right? Here's the hard reality. We can't coach people into being winners. We can't coach people into being winners. No one can. See the difference? We can coach people into winning, but we can't coach them into being winners. Why? Winning is an outcome. Being a winner is a mindset. That is the difference. We're talking about the trout. We're talking about the people in our sphere of influence who scare the hell out of us. Let's talk about these people. These are people who burn blue. They don't burn red. They are not a red flame. They are a blue flame. What happens if you blow wind on a red flame? That thing goes out. We're constantly restoking that red flame. What happens with that blue flame? That does not go out with a hurricane force wind. Doesn't. That blue flame stays lit through whatever is in there. Those are our trouts, right? How many people here needed their alarm clock to wake up this morning? I know I didn't, right? That's because we don't wake up, we're compelled up. I don't wake up in the morning. I am compelled out of bed. I look over and it says 3:30 in the morning. And I said it last week, so you know I'm not full of crap. I look over at my alarm clock and it says 3:30. And I'm like, if I get out of bed right now at 3:30, Cher's going to hit me with a shoe. And I lay there until 4 o'clock in the morning just because I know I should. I am compelled out of bed, and I'm compelled out of bed because of that why. That why is huge. That why is momentum driving, right? The trait and the massiveness of our why, that's the secret to our success. We need to find those people. And they're not hard to find. They just are not hard to find. Facebook brings someone asked me years ago, my field prior to this was technology. Someone said, so is Facebook really worth investing in? I said, hell yeah. Facebook tells us where we were, where we are, and where we're going to be. There's nothing more valuable than that. If I want to know who you are, it's all in your Facebook feed, all of it. You look at my Facebook feed and you see my 6.5-year transition to becoming a health and wellness coach. You see it. You see it start with a weight loss. You see it move into this migration journey of a why that changes. You see COVID hit me in a way that changes me. Then you see me become a health and wellness coach. You see it. It's there. Look in your own feed. Your coaches are there. Don't be afraid of them. Look, here's the bottom line. How arrogant is it of me to compare my 75-pound weight loss journey up against my wife's mindset journey? How arrogant of me. How dismissive of me. My 75-pound loss is no less transformative than her mindset. The first Facebook story she ever shared on, that was the Himalayas to her. I decide to be a coach, I get on Facebook Live and I just go. That ain't hard, right? For her, that's huge, huge. How arrogant and how dismissive and how limiting. That is a limiting mindset of mine. And if I don't change my limiting mindset, then am I really transforming? Am I transforming into who I really want to be? We do not put faces on balloons, period. Don't do it. If you've got balloons floating around your room with all these faces on it of all these people, take the faces off the balloons and put behavior on them. We're looking for behavior, not faces, right? Because my behavior may not be indicative of success yet, right? That's the other part. Here's the other really difficult. I'm going to leave it with this. Red flames are very quick to get started. There's nothing easier than starting a red flame. Quick. You could do that with a match. Its sustainability is harder. That blue flame takes time, takes investment, takes work, but once it's there, it just goes. And the final component, the single most important part of any successful business is diversification. Period, end of discussion. Coca-Cola has a water division. Need I say any more? We need to diversify our coaching pool. Of course we have weight loss journeys, right? They're huge. It's such a big component of what we do, but we need to have the mental journey as well, right? Get those people on your list. So, and I'm going to do it to you again, right? Get back to your mentor with that scared list and identify your scared people. Why do they scare you? What about their behaviors? What about their behaviors justify them being on that balloon? So love you guys. Love this morning. I love it. And I can't wait to see everyone today at Jamil's. Super stoked.
So good. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of us are going to have to go back and rewatch Mark's part because it was almost like speaking in parables. And that's why I was never like that theology kid growing up, even though I spent my whole time there. But now that I'm an adult, I go back and I go, oh, that's what they were saying. We might have to go back and rewatch that because it was so like clear, but it was also deep. It was freaking also, even me, I'm like, Blue Flame, oh, Mark that dude's a blue flame. Erica, oh, like it takes those people time to come. Does that make sense? But when they come, they do what? They freaking, it's like, oh, okay, now I'm lit. Literally and how do you say that word? Figurative. I told you you don't have to be that bright to do this. I love Mark. That was freaking awesome, dude. Just dropping analogies and stuff, making us think this morning. I love it. Let's go. You know what? I talked to you guys about, it's so hard to be committed to, look at the chat blowing up. Mark, look, I want you to go look at the chat because these people are really getting it. It's hard to be committed. So I want to bring on Amber Leah to talk to us about, what is that mindset of making commitments, because it is very difficult to do. And we are going to reach this goal by July 31st. So Amber Leah.
Hey, Jamil, thank you so much. Can you hear me? All good? Okay, awesome. So, at the beginning of this session, Jamil said something that has been rattling in my brain for the last 24 hours. He said, we are not tough enough. He said, we are not tough enough. On March 23rd, 2006, Desmond T. Doss died at the age of about 87 years old. And if you don't know the name Desmond T. Doss, you need to do a little bit of digging and research, but I'm going to tell you about Desmond. Desmond was a private first class in the United States Army in the medical detachment. He was a conscientious objector. And if you want to talk about commitment, commitment is, the definition is the state of being dedicated to a cause or activity. And Desmond T. Doss, as a conscientious objector, would not carry a weapon into battle during World War II. And so he was part of a medical staff. And in May 1945, he was a company aide man with the 1st Battalion. They were assaulted on a jagged escarpment 400 feet above ground. 400 feet on a jagged escarpment, his battalion was assaulted. As our troops gained the summit, a heavy concentration of artillery, mortar, and machine gun fire crashed into them, inflicting approximately 75 casualties and driving the others back. Private First Class Doss refused to seek cover and remained in the fire-swept area with the many stricken, carrying them one by one to the edge of the escarpment, and there lowering them on a rope-supported stretcher down the face of a cliff to friendly hands. On the 2nd of May, he exposed himself to heavy rifle and mortar fire in rescuing a wounded man 200 yards forward of the lines on the same escarpment, and 2 days later, he treated 4 men who had been cut down while assaulting a strongly defended cave. He advanced through a shower of grenades to within 8 yards of enemy forces in a cave's mouth, where he dressed his comrades' wounds before making 4 separate trips under fire to evacuate them to safety. On May 5th, he unhesitatingly braved enemy shelling and small arms fire to assist an artillery officer. He applied bandages, moved his patient to a spot that offered protection from the small arms fire, and while artillery and mortar shells fell close by, Private First Class Doss crawled to him where he had fallen 25 feet from the enemy position, rendered aid, and then carried him 100 yards to safety while continually exposed to enemy fire. On May 21st, in the night attack on high ground near Shuri, he remained in exposed territory while the rest of his company took cover. He fearlessly risking the chance that he would be mistaken for an infiltrating Japanese, he gave aid to the injured until he was himself seriously wounded in the legs by the explosion of a grenade, which, by the way, left 17 pieces of shrapnel in his body for the rest of his life. Rather than call another aid man from cover, he cared for his own injuries and waited 5 hours before stretcher bearers reached him and started carrying him to cover. The trio was caught in an enemy tank attack, and Private First Class Doss, seeing a more critically wounded man nearby, crawled off the stretcher and directed the bearers to give their first attention to the other man Awaiting the stretcher bearer's return, he was again struck, this time suffering a compound fracture of one arm. With magnificent fortitude, he bound a rifle stock to his shattered arm as a splint, and then crawled 300 yards over rough terrain to the aid station. Through his outstanding bravery and unflinching determination in the face of desperately dangerous conditions, Private First Class Doss saved the lives of many soldiers, over 100, incidentally, in that short period of time. His name became a symbol throughout the 77th Infantry Division for outstanding gallantry, far above and beyond the call of duty. It's why he earned the Purple Heart and Gold Stars and all kinds of awards. Now listen, I am okay with comparing myself to someone like Doss if it's going to open my eyes to reach my potential. This man didn't carry a weapon. He exposed himself to attack over and over again for the sake of other people. That is commitment. And what am I trying to do? What are my bullets? What are my grenades? Is it my chatter? Is it my schedule? Is it my kids? Is it my whatever? We're not tough enough, you guys. Okay, I'll speak for myself. Nobody's asking me to go into the front lines and be shot at over and over again and single-handedly carry and drag 100 men to safety down a 400-foot escarpment with a rope. Can you imagine the physical fortitude that that took? He is a pacifist, this man. And my mentor coach is asking me to open my mouth and share a coaching opportunity that could change people's lives. My mentor coach is telling me to continue to be consistent, to share my story about how Optavia has blessed my life and changed my health. Listen, I'm not asking any of us to be Doss, but could we maybe muster up a little bit of that kind of gumption? Could we maybe really look at current reality and look at what our potential really is? And be honest with ourselves. You got to take it next level with what you think you're doing in your business. You got to become that guy who kicks the grenade away. And even though shrapnel penetrates your body, even though, like people, said earlier, you've got family members telling you they don't want to make money off of fat people, kick that grenade aside. And you know what? It may leave a little sting, right? It might leave a little sting, but guess what? They're one of the people you're going to put on that stretcher. Okay, it's worth it. So listen, I'll just speak for myself. I am not tough enough. I feel like I'm pretty tough, but I am absolutely not willing to stay stagnant or to think that what my experiences are as hard as I think they are. I am okay with bullets and grenades and obstacles, and I'm not trying to minimize your hardships or your difficulties. I'm just telling you that I'm not willing to let them stop you from reaching your potential. I'm not saying they're not valid. I'm just saying they are not worth you not reaching the goal that you said you wanted to reach, was to be FIBC by July 31st. I want a battalion of infantry men and women. I want a full battalion of Desmond Dosses. And I want you to know, I'm not trying to be hard on you. I believe that I'm looking at them. You are them. So put your weapons down, get your grit. Remember what commitment is. It's being dedicated to a cause or activity. You've got a cause and you know the activity that you need to do. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Average people with a little bit of above average what? Desire. You guys think people in the world don't want this? They do. They just don't know that it's there. They just don't. I didn't. Dang it, you guys. I couldn't imagine me being 40 right now without having Optavia. Holy smokes. I can tell you, I don't even want to think about that because I have no idea what that dude would be like. I have no, forget all the stuff. I have no idea who I would be like. I would be a shell of the human being that I am right now, a shell of this guy, for sure. That's why I text Karen all the time. I text her yesterday. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You guys, I'll tell you this, Fibc doesn't happen on accident. And I want one of the very best that knows this freaking better than me to come on off and explain to us that it's about intentionality. Michelle Bomber, are you there this morning to close us out?
Yes, I am here. Good morning, you guys. Jamil, I don't know how I'm supposed to follow all of that because that was, I mean, this is probably one of the best trainings, honestly, that I've been on, just straight fire from everyone. And so I hope that you guys are literally taking it in. I hope that this is something that you guys are going to watch over and over and over again. But I'm here to talk about Fibc does not happen by accident. So how many of you, and throw this in the chat, how many have heard this concept? You don't go Fibc, but you grow to Fibc. So how many of you have heard that concept? And if you haven't, that's okay, because right now, today, you are going to learn that Fibc does not happen on accident. It's something that you grow into. So I'm glad that I'm seeing that you guys agree, because let me tell you, that is the absolute truth. And we absolutely support that concept, but here is the deal. Fibc doesn't happen by accident. Whatever rank you're pursuing doesn't happen by accident. But here's the issue. Even though we don't, or even though we really do believe we don't just get there or we arrive there by accident, but we grow there, growth never happens in comfort. And that is what I'm going to talk about today. Because we are today, if you have not made the decision to, after hearing all of that, to get out of your comfort zone, today is the day to make that decision. Because if we're going there, if we're pursuing it, if we have said, hey, I will go Fibc by July 31st, then comfort has got to be out of the equation, right? Because, I mean, let's face it, comfort is the issue. We pursue comfort more than we actually pursue our goals, you know? And so today we're not going to pursue the comfort, because I will tell you guys this, the biggest thing in your life will occur outside of your comfort zone. Because let's face it, you know, we live in a world that the goal is that everything that we do, we press into comfort and we avoid being uncomfortable, right? We avoid it like it's the plague. You know, everything that we do, we want to make our life easy. And don't get me wrong, I like easy, right? But how many of you heard, and I'm sure you've all heard this, right, is nothing good comes easy. Nothing phenomenal that happens in our life typically comes easy. So here's a thought, and it's kind of random, but I think about our kids, right? Our kids are our life. Right? They are a phenomenal part of our life. But the road to bring them into this world for us to enjoy them didn't come easy, right? Now I'm talking to the women, because this doesn't really fall into the men category, right? But for the women, right? We had to carry them for 9 months. We'd gone through the fatigue, the nausea, the change in our bodies, and then childbirth, right? None of that came easy. But what came from the uneasy and the discomfort is the most incredible gift. You know, we had to go through the hard to get to that magical moment, you know, when you hold your child for the first time, you know, and I know many didn't deal with any of that, but that's what I mean. All good things come from work and sacrifice. And the one thing that we've learned, that one of the greatest skills that a person can have the ability to have, is to be comfortable with discomfort. Right? That's one thing that we want to get really good at, is being comfortable with the discomfort, because you never grow by doing comfortable things. You know, your willingness to embrace fear is proportionate to you growing as a leader. But how many of you feel that there's a constant pursuit of something else? Right? As you're growing, there's always going to be a pursuit of something else. Well, that something really starts with us. You know, that would be the question to ask all of us right now. Who do you need to become in order to take your business to that next level? And see that, you know, what got you here is not going to get you there. Because the beauty of embracing discomfort is that things do get easier. But the downside to that is that if you really want to continue to grow, you have to learn to get uncomfortable again and again and again. Because growth is a never-ending pursuit of discomfort. It's a never-ending pursuit to really put yourself in that position to be a little bit more uncomfortable. So who do you need to become today? What needs to change in you? Because here's the truth. Many of you show up on these trainings and you're trying to get us to tell you what to do, how to take your business to that next level. But the beauty is you already know what to do. You just choose to get in your comfort zone and to stay there and just not do it. Because you all grew to executive director. You know how to bring on clients. You know how to support clients. You know that the gold mine in this business is sponsoring coaches. But the problem is you are too much in your comfort zone to just go out and do it and present the opportunity of what Optavia truly offers. We are so geared in this world on tips and tricks, right? What are the tips and tricks that we need to grow our business? But you don't need tips and tricks. You need tips and shifts. That is what you need. So you need things, within you to really change. Because if you continue to play small, you're going to stay small. It really comes down to what we want, right? Because again, y'all know what to do. And, I've been hearing sometimes that we're not getting maybe on these trainings, man, I don't know how to do it. Or, you guys, we know what to do. Right? You guys have gotten to this level by no accident, right? You've branded yourself, you shared your story, you continue to go out there and just share with people what this is. And then we stay there because we're comfortable right there, right? Bobby mentioned earlier, she was comfortable at AD. She was comfortable with her frontline. Well, today it's time to get out of that comfort zone and just go. So again, who do you need to become? What is the change in you that you need to create? What is the structure that you need to create? What is the mindset that you need to create? In order to really be capable of handling the growth that you desire. Because leading yourself requires leaving yourself and at least who you currently are and who you can be. So I'm not here to tell you to get uncomfortable, but I'm here to tell you that if you want to grow, you need to get uncomfortable. And really push back the things that are keeping you stuck, because when you do, you guys, the most beautiful things come on the other side of discomfort, just like the most beautiful things come on the other side of fear. So who are you going to become today? Because let me tell you this, y'all can become Fibc July 31st. Are you saying those affirmations every single day? Are you continuing to wake up and say those affirmations that you will be Fibc in however many days left until the 31st? And so today it's really time to get out of your comfort zone and just go for it. And just do the things that you're here because you're all up early for a reason, right? So go do the things that you want to do. Go do the things that you're saying you're gonna do. So that's all I got, Jamil. Remember, Fibc does not happen by accident, you guys. It really takes being intentional with your day. It takes intentional with your plans and your goals and your actions and your dreams. So I'm gonna get back to you.
Listen here. I'm gonna say one thing. Apparently, we need to become pregnant. I'm just gonna tell you that. Michelle and Bobby and them. But you know what? We do need to become pregnant. And what I mean by that is some of us need to become pregnant with passion. Some of us need to become pregnant with desire. Some of us need to be pregnant with an aptitude to do the things we say we're going to do. Some of us need to become pregnant with just pushing through hard things. Aren't you tired of letting fear drive the car? Somebody asked me that on the podcast the other day. They go, "Do you get scared?" I go, "I'm scared all the time. All the time." It isn't like I'm not. I'm going to tell you something about me. I get nervous in big crowds. I'm not a big crowd type of guy. I would rather be in a room by myself. But I told this person on the podcast, I go, that terrifies me. I'm being real. But I will not let it drive my car. So fear can sit in the passenger seat, but I'm taking control of this damn wheel. And I am going to drive this car where I want it to go. Some of us need to become pregnant with a mindset like that Amber talked about. You guys, do me a favor, close your eyes really fast. Close your eyes. I want you to think about get July 31st. In fact, get August 1st into your mind. Close your eyes, all of you guys. Stacy, you too. It's like an altar call right now. Picture August 1st in your mind. Where are you going to be? It's August 1st. Some of you guys may be, still in Atlanta. Some of you guys may be at your home. Some of you guys, I don't know where you're going to be, but where are you? That morning, you're going to open up your Optavia Connect. And you're going to be able to look back on what you have accomplished and achieved. And I want you to picture yourself looking at, for all of you guys that are shooting for Fibc, and all of you mentors and business coaches, when you see that pop up on that screen, and you see fully integrated business coach, and for you mentors, you see that from the coaches that you are partnering with, how do you feel in that moment? What's going through your mind? What's going through your body? What's going through your veins? What is that energy? What is that emotion? You feel elated. You feel like, man, I did it. I want you to think about all the scary things that you did during that time period from now until then. I want you to think about the faces that's been impacted, people you probably don't even know that's alive right now, conversations you haven't even started yet. Who are those people? Who's been impacted? What sort of stories did they have? I want you to think about the step that was taken towards probably a goal of yours that's even much bigger than that. What does that feel like to know that you did and you accomplished what you set out to do? Open your eyes. Put yourself in that space. Feel that and see that. And starting today, do the necessary things that it's going to take so that at August 1st, you're in that exact spot. Now, here's the deal. I know that you can do it, because if I put and I dangled again $1 million in front of you and I said, hit this goal by the end of next week, I know and you know that you would do it. I know, and some of you guys, like $1 million is not enough, or I already got that. Okay, fine. 10 million. Fine. Victor, if I told you next Saturday, by the end of the night, you hit Fibc, I freaking give you $1 million, you would do it. I know you would. So you guys can't tell me that by July 31st, we can't do this. I know that we can. You got to make a decision, though, that I am getting up this damn hill, come hell or high water. Even if I have to freaking crawl 300 yards, this is going to happen. There is no, like, I hope. I've already made up my mind. I've already made up my mind. This is what it takes. And if you can do it for Fibc, this is just a microcosm of your macro life, that you can do anything outside of Optavia. You can do anything. This is just a test to show you that you can do whatever it is that you want, but you must make a decision to do it. Thank you to all of our presenters today. Thank you for bringing, was probably the most powerful freaking hour and 15 minutes we've ever had together. Thank you for investing into us for free, by the way. And I know a lot of people that sell these types of things for a lot of money, but we get it every week for free. For free. Thank you guys for investing into us and for helping us become more. Michelle was right. We don't go Fibc. We must grow, and you must have the freaking want to get better. And it's up to us. Love you guys. See you soon. Remember, this is not the mastermind. That's what we do every single day in our groups. Let's get out.